What if the very things meant to make homes safer were secretly putting families in danger? Imagine stepping into a home from 100 or even 50 years ago. At first, it might feel cozy and nostalgic, the kind of place that makes you think of simpler times. But hidden in those walls, ceilings, and everyday items were dangers that could poison you, spark deadly fires, or quietly put your family at risk without anyone realizing it. In this video, we're uncovering 10 once common home features that turned out to be far more dangerous than they appeared. From the late 1800s through the mid-20th century, asbestos showed up everywhere, in insulation, floor tiles, roofing, and even those iconic popcorn ceilings. Builders loved it because it was cheap, durable, and fire-resistant. It seemed like the perfect way to make homes safer and was hailed as a miracle material for construction. The problem? Those tiny fibers, hidden in walls and ceilings, were deadly. When disturbed, asbestos releases microscopic particles that float through the air. Inhaling them is a one-way ticket to serious lung diseases, including asbestosis, lung cancer, and aggressive mesothelioma. The scariest part? Symptoms often don't appear for decades, long after the exposure happened. By the 1980s, asbestos was heavily restricted or banned, but millions of homes were already built with it. Today, removing asbestos isn't just tricky, it's one of the most expensive and dangerous renovations a homeowner can face. For much of the 20th century, wood-based paint was the superstar of home decor. It made walls glossy, colors pop, and seemed durable enough to last decades. Parents even thought it was safe for children's rooms and nurseries. So what went wrong? The problem was hiding in plain sight. Lead is a powerful neurotoxin, and as paint chips and flakes, kids could ingest the dust without even realizing it. Over time, exposure could stunt brain development, cause learning difficulties, and leave lifelong effects. Adults weren't off the hook either, as kidney damage, high blood pressure, and memory problems were all linked to this safe paint. Even more shocking, scientists had been sounding alarms for decades, but regulations didn't fully ban lead paint in many countries until the late 1970s. Today, older homes still carry this hidden danger, and safely removing it is a tricky, expensive, but necessary task for any homeowner. When electricity first lit up homes in the late 1800s, knob and tube wiring was the latest cutting-edge technology. Wires ran along ceramic knobs and through tubes, separated by open air instead of the insulated cables we use today. And it worked too, but only for a while. Over time, the cloth insulation degraded, sparks flew, and without proper grounding, electric shocks became a real danger. Fast forward a few decades, and the rise of household appliances pushed these systems to their limits. Overloaded circuits turned a convenience into a hidden hazard. Around the same time, aluminum wiring appeared as a cheaper alternative to copper. Lightweight and inexpensive, it seemed like the perfect alternative until it expanded and contracted with heat, loosening connections and sparking fires. What was once an innovative solution is now a nightmare for safety inspectors. Today, many older homes need full rewiring just to meet modern codes, proving that while early electricity was exciting, it was also dangerously unpredictable. For centuries, lead was the go-to material for home plumbing, so much so that the word plumbing comes from plumbum, the Latin word for lead. Builders loved it. Soft, easy to shape, and resistant to corrosion, it seemed perfect for delivering clean water. But what looked like convenience came with a hidden cost. Lead slowly leached into drinking water, and over time, it became a serious poison. Children were especially vulnerable, suffering brain damage, stunted growth, and lifelong learning difficulties. Adults weren't safe either, facing kidney damage, high blood pressure, and heart problems. Even as copper and PVC pipes started replacing lead, danger lingered. Lead-containing solder was still widely used, leaving many homes at risk for decades. Today, older neighborhoods are still working to replace these hidden hazards. Updating plumbing may be expensive, but it's a necessary evil because clean, safe water is worth every penny. This was the rage from the 1950s to the 1980s. Popcorn ceilings added texture, hid imperfections, and even helped muffle sound. It was the perfect go-to for the stylish mid-century home. But behind that bumpy charm lurked a hidden danger: asbestos. When intact, asbestos isn't harmful. The problem comes when ceilings are disturbed, such as during renovations, repairs, or just normal wear and tear. Tiny fibers can float into the air, and once inhaled, they never leave your lungs. Years later, They can cause serious diseases such as asbestosis, lung cancer, or the deadly mesothelioma. What started as a trendy, harmless design feature turned into a silent, decades-long threat in countless homes. Today, asbestos is banned in construction, but many older houses still have these ceilings. Removing them safely isn't as simple as scraping off the bumps, since it requires specialized gear and trained professionals, making it one of the most hazardous home renovations imaginable. Long before smart thermostats and digital controls, many homes relied on tiny glass devices that quietly regulated temperature and planted roots for another serious problem in the long run. Mercury thermostats were once the standard, praised for their precision and reliability. They used small amounts of liquid mercury to complete an electrical circuit, turning heaters and air conditioners on and off. The catch? Mercury is a potent neurotoxin. If a thermostat cracked or leaked, it released vapor that could be inhaled, causing tremors, memory loss, neurological problems, and long-term health risks, especially for children and pregnant women. Most homeowners had no idea the little device on their wall could be so hazardous. Eventually, digital and electronic thermostats replaced mercury models, making homes safer. Today, old mercury thermostats are treated as hazardous waste, a reminder that even everyday household gadgets can conceal dangerous secrets. Much earlier than the widespread rise of double or triple pane windows, homes were filled with simple single-pane glass that was cheap, easy to install, and let in plenty of sunlight. On the surface, they seemed fine, but they came with hidden risks that homeowners didn't always notice. Single-pane windows offered almost no insulation, meaning freezing winters and scorching summers often forced families to rely on open flames, coal stoves, or overworked heating systems, all of which are practically ticking time bombs for house fires. The glass itself was fragile, shattering easily from a stray ball, a sudden gust, or even temperature changes. Sharp shards could seriously injure children or adults. Old window frames often made things worse, with rotting wood or layers of lead paint adding chemical and structural dangers. Over time, modern double-pane windows replaced them, offering insulation, durability, and safer frames. Today, single-pane glass is a reminder that what was once standard can be surprisingly dangerous. Before central heating became standard, unvented gas space heaters were a quick and easy way to warm up a room. Small, portable, and seemingly convenient, they were everywhere in mid-20th century homes. But this instant heat came with serious hidden risks. Without a vent, these heaters released dangerous gases such as carbon monoxide and nitrogen dioxide directly into living spaces. Carbon monoxide, which is colorless and odorless, could quietly cause headaches, dizziness, nausea, and in severe cases, death. That wasn't the only problem. Unvented heaters added moisture to the air, encouraging mold growth and even structural damage over time. Families who thought they were simply keeping warm were unknowingly living with a health and constructional hazard. As safer alternatives like vented gas heaters and electric systems became available, these risky devices were phased out. Today, if an older home still has one, it's a stark reminder that sometimes convenience comes with deadly consequences. Back in homes built before the mid-20th century, ungrounded electrical outlets were the norm. These simple two-prong sockets were fine for early appliances like lamps or radios, but as household electricity use skyrocketed, they became a hidden hazard. Without a proper ground, electrical faults had no safe path to the earth, turning everyday appliances into potential shock machines. A faulty toaster or lamp could give anyone a serious jolt, and in wet areas like kitchens or bathrooms, the risk skyrocketed. Ungrounded outlets also left electronics vulnerable, as surges had nowhere to safely go, putting expensive devices at risk. Modern three-prong outlets include a grounding prong, which safely channels stray electricity and dramatically lowers the risk of shocks and fires. Today, many older homes still rely on these outdated sockets, making simple upgrades like installing grounded outlets or using GFCI adapters, an essential step toward keeping your home safe and your family out of harm's way. Lawn darts, the fun backyard game from the 70s and 80s that made every family barbecue feel like the Olympics, except with a deadly twist. These weren't your regular soft-tip darts. We're talking giant metal-pointed missiles you were supposed to toss toward a target on the grass. Sounds harmless, right? Well, only until someone ended up in the ER. Kids were the most at risk. One misfire, and that dart could pierce skin, eyes, or worse. Families quickly learned that a strong throw could turn friendly competition into a real-life horror show. Despite the obvious dangers, lawn darts stayed on shelves for years until the late 1980s, when the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission finally said enough is enough and banned them. Today, lawn darts are a wild reminder that not everything sold as fun is actually safe. Some backyard games really do come with a side of danger. If you have watched this video till the end, I am sure you will love this video.